Good morning students. In this video session, I am going to explain about the last topic which is present in your first unit. Okay, preprocessor derivatives. Okay, so what is preprocessor derivatives? In all the program you are using this preprocessor derivatives, the header files. The header files also considered as a preprocessor derivatives. Okay, so how you identify a preprocessor derivative means by seeing this hash symbol we can able to identify it is a preprocessor derivatives. Your header files also preprocessor derivatives. Okay, so what is preprocessor derivatives means? It's a program. PGM means program that process the source code before it given to the compiler or passes to the compiler. What is that? Actually what will happen means once you executed the program, before before the high level language is converted into low level language by the compiler, few steps will be happen in between. The first step is your preprocessor derivative will be expanded. Actually it is not the program code. Before executing the program itself, your preprocessor derivative will works. That means normally you are using hash include stdio, that is standard input output dot h, right? So it expanded and linked all the predefined functions in your program. Okay, so preprocessor derivative is not the program statement. Okay, it will be expanded before executing the program. Okay, so it should be identify the symbol hash symbol. Okay, so there are various types of preprocessor directives. In that you are going to I am going to explain few things in this session. Okay, so your preprocessor derivative is commonly divided into two things. One is unconditional, another one is conditional. Or what is conditional statements? Already you learned, right? The same thing. If, else if, if def. If ndef means not def, then end if, then undef. These all comes in the conditional statements. The conditional statements will be used in the preprocessor derivative also. Okay, so if everything is preceded with the hash symbol, that's the only difference. Everything preceded with this hash symbol. Okay, if, else, if def, then not def, then end if. Similarly here also unconditional is there. There define, line, undef, include, error, pragma. In this video session I am going to explain about few important things in the preprocessor derivatives. The first one is hash define. The other name of hash define is macro substitution. What is substitution? Instead of one thing we are alternating with other thing, right? Okay, normally we say for substitution player we are changing one player and putting the new player in that place, right? That is substitution. Similarly this macro substitution is used to change the identifier with certain values. Okay, so it is used to substitute the value in the particular variable name. Okay, so this hash defined macro substitution is divided into two things. One is object like macro, that is symbol macro. The other name of symbol macro is object like macro, and another one is function like macro. This function like macro is otherwise called as argumented macro. Single macro, function type. Again single is named as object type and function is named as argumented macro. Okay, anything which comes inside the bracket we say it is argument. Okay, then first we see about object like macro. It is a symbol macro. It is used to define a symbolic constants. See here, hash define. This is the preprocessor directive. Then one identifier, then string. The string will be assigned for this identifier. Wherever the identifier is coming, at that place we will substitute this string here. See here, see the example, hash define pi 3.14. So in your program, wherever you are using this pi identifier, the 3.14 value will be substituted there. That is macro substitution. Okay, all of you got it. Instead of pi, the whole program, wherever you are using pi, the meaning of pi is 3.14. Like that, creating the symbolic constants, we use this symbol macro. Okay. The second type is argumented type macro or function like macro. Okay. So see the syntax here, as defined, again identifier. Here you can give n number of arguments, you can pass many arguments, many values. Okay, then the particular alternative string, okay, that will be substituted. See here, define mul is the multiplication, it is the identifier, a comma b. Wherever you are placing a comma b, it will be considered as a into b, multiplication a into b. Okay, well, once you see the example, you will get the clear idea. Okay, see this example, hash include first header file. What's the use of header file? Including all the predefined function in your program. See here, hash define. What is define? Define is a preprocessor derivative, macro substitution. What you are going to substitute? 3.14 is assigned for this PI. So in your whole program, what are the places PI is coming? The 3.15 is altered for that or substituted for that. Okay. So void main, starting position of your program. This is the program to find area of circle. For example, find area of circle program. Okay. So what's the formula? Pi r square. Pi r square. This is the formula, right? So I am declaring a variable r for radius. This r is there, right? For that I am declaring a variable r equal to 4. Then I am declaring another variable area. What is this line? Variable declaration. I am going to use two variables. One is r, another one is area. Both are belongs to integer data type. And here I am doing initialization also. What's the value of r? It is 4. Now here I am calculating the area. Area equal to pi into r square. So instead of using r square, 2 times I am multiplying here. So the meaning is 3.14 into 4 into 4. One value you will get, right? It will be stored in the area. Next line I am printing the area. So what are the places pi is coming? It is substituted by the value 3.14. Okay, this is symbol macro or object like macro. The second one is function like or argumented type. See here one argument is here, then this is the string. This is the thing you are going to substitute here. So as defined, square of n equal, if anywhere in your program, if this is coming means it is substituted by n into n. All of you got it? So void main starting position. Here also I am declaring two variables. One is a, another one is s. So I am going to find the square root. This is the program to find square root. So s equal to sq of a. What will happen? Sq of the c, it is a preprocessor derivative. So what will happen means, what's the value of a? 5. So here 5 into 5. What is 5 into 5? 25, right? So 25 will be stored in the s. Then I am printing the s. So you will get the output square equal to 25. Got it? Okay. The next one is nested macro, nesting of macro or nesting macro. What is nesting? If one macro is present inside the another, we say it is a macro. Or one macro is defined in the another macro, we can say it is a nesting type. See here, I want to calculate cube. So first I am defining the macro square as defined square of x. What is square of x? X into x. Now I want to find the cube. So I am using this square. Using this square here. So its meaning is x into x. Then this x. So for finding the square, I am using the, for finding the cube, I am using the square. Square is the another macro which is defined here. Okay. So if one macro is defined in the another macro, we say it is a nesting macro. Okay. So this is the first step, first type of macro. Then inside the preprocessor derivatives, some of the important operators are there. Okay, there are two types of operators which is mainly used. One is the single hash symbol, another one is double hash symbol. Okay, the simple hash symbol is used to convert the string literals. Okay, for example, if you want to substitute one string for the string literals, okay, that means, for example, if you are using p of 20, means for that normally we are substituting with one value, right? Whatever I explained till now, we are substituting with one value, but here this symbol is used to substitute a one statement. We can use statements also. We can substitute with the statements. For that it will be used to convert the string literals. And second, double hash symbol is used to concatenate two identifiers or concatenates two values into the third variable, or used to combine two values and stored in the third variable. So these are the two important operators which is used in the preprocessor derivative. So I will explain with one example. Okay. So see here, hash defined. This is the preprocessor derivative. Then p of num. This is the preprocessor derivative name. See here, num equal to printf. Here I am using a symbol. So instead of p of num, the whole printf statement will be executed. Convert into string literal. So this p of num is converted into this printf statement. So at first you have to put the hash symbol here also. Num equal to %d comma num. So in your program, what are the places p of num is coming means, instead of that, which statement will be taken? The printf statement will be taken. Instead of that p of num, the whole printf statement, the whole string literal will be considered in your program. See this example. And second macro is, second preprocessor derivative use hash define j of a comma b. If you are in your program anywhere j of a comma means, it will be considered this double ampersand symbol, double hash symbol a, double hash b. It is used to combine. It is used to combine two values, join two values. Okay. So int I, then p of 20. See here, p. What is this p? P is this preprocessor derivative. Num is nothing but this 20. So what is p of num? P of num is here p of 20. For instead of this num variable, I given one value. So it should be expanded like this. Printf num equal to %d of num. So in the output screen, first you will get the answer 20. Instead of this portion, the whole printf statement will be expanded. Printf num equal to %d comma num. So it will print the value 20. Similarly, I am using one simple for loop here. For I equal to 1, initialization, I less than 3, condition is true. Hi, see here, j of, what is this j? J is the preprocessor derivative, right? J, user comma I. So what will happen? User, the meaning is user double ampersand I. So it will be combined as user I. At first, what's the I value? It is in the printf screen, right? It is in the printf. So it will print. What's the I value now? 1. So it will print hi user 1. Again for loop. Now what's the I value? I plus plus. I value is 2. 2 less than 3. So it will print hi user 2. Again increment 3. I less than 3. Condition is false. So it will come out. All of you understood? So these two operators are mainly used in the preprocessor derivatives. One is single hash symbol, another one is double hash symbol. The next important thing is include directive. The next preprocessor derivative is include. What's the use of include? If in your program, if you are writing many programs, right? In your programs, some variables, some functions you are using specifically means, if you want to include this program into the another program, all of you got it? One of my program I want to add into the another program means at that time I can use include. Include is a preprocessor derivative which is used to include the whole thing in your program, used to linked in your program. Normally you are using stdio.h, right? What's the meaning of it? You are including all the standard input output functions in your program. Similarly, you can use another program in your program also by giving this file name. Okay, if you use this bracket, it will search the particular file in the standard set of libraries. All the standard libraries it will check. If you use this double quotes means it will check the current directory. That's the difference. If you put this bracket means it will check all the directories, all the standard directories, library directories. If you use this symbol, it will check in the current directories whether the file is present. Why it is checking? To include the particular file in your file. Okay. The last thing is conditional inclusion. What is conditional statements? Already I teach you conditional statement, right? By checking a condition, the flow of control will be changed. The same conditional statements you can include in your preprocessor derivatives also. The preprocessor derivatives always used above the main. But while you are writing this conditional inclusion, it will sometimes it will allowed inside the main also. Mostly all the preprocessor derivatives are present at the above the main. Okay. So here also see the conditional inclusions. If is there, else is there, if def, then if not def, then undef, then elif, then end if. Okay, and end if. These are the conditional inclusions. Okay, how you are using the conditional statement? The same way we have to work. Only we have to use the hash symbol before that. And one more thing, if you are using if means at last you have to use end if. If, end if. The same thing. See here, hash define n10. So what's the meaning? What are the places the n is coming? The meaning is 10. So if n starting, void main is the starting position. If n equal to 0, what's the value of n? 10 equal to 0. Whether the condition is true? No. So it won't execute this line. Directly it will come to the elif. Here, whether 10 is greater than 0. Yes, 10 is greater than 0. So it will print positive. Else, if the 10 is not greater than 0 means it will print negative. Then end if. Similarly, see here, one more example I will explain. Hash define m equal to 90. So the value of m is now 90. If def, the meaning of if def is whether the if def m, whether this m is already defined or not. If def meaning is whether it is already defined or not. Whether m is defined or not. It is defined, right? What's the value of m? 90. So if the condition is true, these two statements will be executed. What is undef? Whatever you already defined, it will be removed from m. Undef is used to remove the already defined identifier. So now the m is empty. Now the m is empty. Nothing is here, empty. So again I am defining, hash define m equal to 100. Now what's the value? Now the m value is 100. Suppose if it is false, if def f, if I am not defined any value for this m means directly it will come to the else part and define m equal to 200. If the condition is true means it will undef and redefine the value 100. 90 will be replaced by 100 after undefing. Suppose if the condition is false, if nothing is here, what will happen? It will define the m value is 200. As you are using if, it will end with end if. Then void main, I am just printing and checking what's the value of m. M equal to percentage d, okay, comma m. What's the value now? 100 or 200? 100, right? 100. Similarly, end def is nothing but whether it is not defined. It is used to check if def means already defined or not. Not check means already not defined or not. Okay. So this is a last topic in your first unit. I hope you understand this concept, students. Thank you.